So we're going to switch gears a little bit, and I want to show you something I'm working on for a friend of mine, Daryl, who is actually rebuilding a Mite right now, a real one, 1/1 scale. He's had them in the past, but anyhow, before the holidays, I spoke to him, and I agreed that I would help. My glasses are all jacked up. That I would help him build some models that he had. And I said, hey, no problem, ship them to me, I'll get working on them. Well, there's the M422 and the M422, I think it's A1 versions, right, of the Mite. It's a Czech Republic product, 100% resin, and very difficult to build as opposed to a standard plastic kit, because there's different prep requirements. Paint, there's some pre-washing that you got to do. It's all CA glue, right, putting this thing together. So it was my first all resin kit. So I'm going to take you to the bench and show you what I've gotten done so far on the other version of this. There's a long wheelbase and a short wheelbase. And we're going to make these things look like the vehicles that he owned, because there are some differences in the windshield frames as well. So let's go to the bench. Well, if you can see this, that means the camera's rolling. And let me set this clicker down, because I have you projecting down from a new rig that I have, which is also supposed to help light the area up. Hopefully I'm not casting too many shadows, but anyhow, I just want to go over the Plus model 1/35th scale command car, okay? This is the command car version. It has the radio system in it. Looks like an M31 type mount for the M60. And these kits, here is, let me just show you what I've gotten done so far here. This is the M422 Mite, and lots of tons of photo etch stuff here. The canvas top is a clear plastic material. You have to scratch build the top bows, the entire suspension underneath. A lot of the framework here for the body supports, the bumpers, that's all photo etch parts. And it's a lot of intricate detailed work, so it's not for the faint of heart. However, it is a fun, challenging kit, and they did a great job. I'm hoping you can see the details in this thing, but everything from the drive line to the steering linkage, to the tie rod ends, I mean, you name it, they didn't miss a beat. So same thing with the spring hangers. Okay, the spring hangers also are photo etched. So it just takes a lot of patience, and you got to go slow, or you're going to get frustrated. Now that I've built this one, and if you'll notice, there's some photo etch inside here, inside the dash area. I can't tell where my camera is. For weapon storage, the decals, very small decals for the dash. Yeah, put the shifter in last, okay? Just, you'll thank me later. Okay, so let's put this down and give you an idea of what's going on. So here we have the tub, and it's pretty nicely molded. I mean, all of the detail work is in the panel lines here. You get a lot of flashing and stuff from when they molded it, so you will have to cut out a lot of things here, do a little light sanding. These are covered. That'll require some trimming, but for the most part, you have some really nice molded details. Now this kit, I've already taken all the parts, all right, and I've got them separated into, this was actually for wet dog food, these plastic containers. And I took them to the sink, grabbed just a really nice soft brush. I put a little dish detergent and warm water in here, and I very carefully cleaned all the parts because there's a lot of release agent on here. If you don't do that, especially if you're using the acrylic paints, the paint will just separate like it's water on Rain-X. So you really got to wash these parts, be very gentle with it, give it a nice rinse, put the pieces on a paper towel, let them air dry, and you know, you'll have something that's a little bit easier to paint. So it will get primed. This particular version that we're going to build, the command car, the vehicle that Daryl owned had the smaller square windshield. The kit does come with both versions, and that's what we're going to use. Now you got to take your time when you're working on this thing. Here's the photo etch that we're dealing with. There is a ton of photo etch here, and like I said earlier, most of it, all these things here where you see the little gusset cutouts and different things, these are all part of the support arms for the frame to body. This particular version has the radio antenna mount and things like that, but this right here, you're looking at the bumper, some of the grill work, you know, framework for the front end, and they get so intricate that I don't know if this one has it. Let me look real quick. Don't see it. Yeah, right here. These little teeny tiny deal. Those are your headlight guards, okay? You've got ammunition belts. So you got to really take your time. If you're not confident with photo etch, this may not be the kit to practice on. All right, it does come with some small decals, and you can see all the dash decals and components are there. But on both of these vehicles, we'll have to do custom numbering on the hood to match what he has. Now, the details in the instructions are somewhat difficult to follow if you don't have experience working on the real vehicles. I took some studying. I was working on bending all these parts here because this is all photo etch. Everything you're doing here right now is photo etch in step one. And the placement of them, even though it's a rough drawing with an arrow, the orientation of the drawings aren't necessarily correct. So you have to be careful how you put things on. I recommend that you do a little bit of study work on that, so you know what you're getting yourself into and that you're getting the right orientation. This little piece right here, I screwed up on the other one, and these are the little rubber bumpers that the spring suspension would bounce against if, you know, they overextended the suspension. Okay, just to give you an idea how tiny those parts are, they're so small you can miss them if you're not careful. So but don't worry, you can always make a spare out of scrap plastic and glue it on there. But take your time, and if you're going to do this, use a super thin CA glue. And I've got this Hobbytown Instacure stuff, and the way this works, I've had the best success that I've had with this is using a pair of tweezers with the part and holding the part in place, putting some of that glue in my little handy dandy wax candle deal with a pin or something like that, and then just touch and let capillary action take its effect, and it'll almost instantly bond. You start messing with putting material on the part and on the frame and put it on there, it's just too big and sloppy and it won't work right. So you have to be careful. But we're going to document this build as we go, but I wanted to show you what was coming and what we're going to work on next, okay? And we'll get this done for Daryl. All right, well, that's it. And yeah, you got to just, you have to take your time. And also some of the instructions, they seem a little bit backwards to me. There are certain things that you're going to want to complete first before you complete the next steps. So, you know, the company did their best at doing subcategories, I would like to call it, subcomponents, but But if you're using an airbrush and you're painting, there are certain assemblies you're going to want to build first so you can get some paint in there and then do some of the final assembly. So just take your time with these instructions. And like I said, it's challenging, but it is kind of rewarding when you get it done. Because I mean, you look at these wiper blades and the wiper guards, the grill work on here, it's all metal, all photo etch. It has to be bent and put together. And the end product is just, it's so cool. But the mistake, and really the only mistake I made on this one was in the tub where you put the shifter in right here. And that's one of the parts that they want you to do early on. But as you're fumbling around and you're working with it, you accidentally flick it off and then it's gone forever. The carpet monster eats it and you'll never find it again. It's that small. So I would recommend messing with these shifters last, because you've got the side one here and then you got one that goes there. Do those last, so you're not having to mess around with it. But anyways, that's it. M422 command car. Stay tuned, and we will document this as we go. All right, I'm going to push my handy dandy camera button, and that's it. Have a good day.